Welcome to the Mohegan Sun. Tonight, this tribal treasure plays host to the greatest mixed martial artists in the world.
Anybody in the world at 170 that I watch fight, I know that I can beat. It's just bottom line, boom.
Well, here we are with Frank Trigg living in a fantasy land.
I'm a much better wrestler. I'm a much better striker.
He's never fought anybody tough, never beat anybody tough.
I have a better family, I have a better upbringing, and I'm twice as good looking as he is.
If the division needs somebody that nobody likes and nobody wants to win, well, he'd definitely be the guy for the spot.
Do I respect him as a fighter? Yes, I do. Do I think I'm gonna beat the shit out of him? Yes, I do.
I want to hurt him for the sole purpose of just shutting him up.
The fight's gonna end early, and it's gonna end violently.
It'll end violently, but I don't think it's going to be the guy that he thinks is going to win.
I'm taking you down, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And I'm gonna get up, and I'm gonna take your belt, and I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna have a drink.
Frank Trigg has just been annoying.
It's not that I hate Matt, he's just next.
If he's going to get beat, he might as well get beat by the best, and that's me.
If Tank's looking for somebody that got the balls to throw with him, he's got it in this fight.
You want to step in the octagon and brawl with me? We'll see what happens.
I'm just gonna mess him up, plain and simple. He thinks that I don't have power, he'll find out.
That guy, he doesn't know how to punch, he doesn't know anything. He just stands there and moves, does a half-ass hook that's like a fly swatter.
I'm just gonna go in there, just tear him apart, keep on knocking him down until he's had enough, or until I break his soul and his spirit, and then I'll knock him out.
You'll know that Cabbage has been in a fight with Tank Abbott when they're wheeling him out on a stretcher.
He's gonna get slapped, plain and simple.
Oh, and what a decade it has been as we welcome you live inside the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. You think we are ready? We are ready, as John McCarthy says, to get it on. We welcome you to UFC 45 Revolution. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg, and welcome once again to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Tonight, we celebrate the evolution of the world's greatest mixed martial arts event. November 12th, 1993, Denver, Colorado, the world met the UFC. That night, we also met Ken Shamrock and Royce Gracie. This will be a night for the ages, because for you, the great fans of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, your voices tonight will be heard as we honor the UFC legends on the Viewers' Choice Awards this evening. The UFC legends are what this sport has been all about, and they will be celebrated here tonight. Loyal UFC fans have been voting and voting, and the Viewers' Choice Awards will be displayed. We also will induct the first two entrants into the Ultimate Fighting Championship Hall of Fame. Our featured matchup tonight for the welterweight title, Matt Hughes, his fifth defense, newcomer Frank Trigg, a second-degree judo black belt. My partner, as always, Joe Rogan. We talk about the welterweights Matt Hughes seems to be indestructible, unless, of course, you talk to Frank Trigg.
Frank Trigg's very confident, and there's some real animosity between these guys. Frank Trigg, without a doubt, is a legitimate contender. He's a WFA welterweight champion, an excellent international wrestler, a great striker from a great camp, the Raw team, supremely confident and truly believes he's the man to beat Matt Hughes. And Matt Hughes does not like it one bit. He's trained harder for this fight than any fight in recent memory, and it's going to be a war.
It is going to be a celebration that culminates in the welterweight championship. Rest of the card, the return of ruthless Robbie Lawler, the fearsome striker out of the Milicic camp. He takes on Chris Lights Out Lytle, former Indiana State boxing champion. Speaking of returns, rehabilitated and re-energized, the New York badass Baroni displays his Brooklyn brawling against Devin Tanner, who makes his debut at 185 and one for the ages. You want toe-to-toe? It's been promised. The original bad boy, David Tank Abbott, against the big Hawaiian known as Cabbage. A great card here tonight. And when it's a big card, that means we get big personalities here. None bigger than Danny Sheridan, USA Today odds maker. Danny, first of all, you picked Randy Couture to upset Tito Ortiz. Nice work, my friend.
Every blind hog finds an acorn. Randy Couture is one for the ages, as the fans voted.
And we will see that a little later. Now, let's talk about tonight's card, Tank against Cabbage.
First of all, Tank is almost 40 years old. Cabbage is 25. This fight won't go 2 rounds. My heart is with Tank, Goldie, but he looks like he's in his second trimester, and I'm definitely going with Cabbage.
And in the featured matchup, Matt Hughes trying to defend his title for a 5th time.
He's been more active than Frank. He's a better fighter, tougher competition. This is going to be a tough fight, but gentlemen, Matt Hughes will win this fight, and that's the way I see it. And Golden One, thanks for having me on.
Speaking of gentlemen, pleasure to see you again.
Oh, knock him out tonight.
All right, Danny Sheridan of the USA Today, nice enough to give us his thoughts, and his thoughts are that Matt Hughes will defend his belt, and he will defend it in impressive fashion here tonight at Mohegan Sun. As always, our ways to win in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. 3 judges will score the bout. The bout duration, 3 5-minute rounds, are for our championship fight tonight. 5 5-minute rounds. Once again, a 10-point must system is in effect, with the round winner gaining 10 points, his opponent 9 or less, based on effective grappling, aggressiveness, and octagon control.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. Tonight, Zuffa presents UFC 45 Revolution, the 10th anniversary show of the UFC, where the finest mixed martial artists in the world will all compete inside the ultimate proving ground, the Octagon. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions of UFC fans watching around the world, it's time to begin the Ultimate Fighting Championship!
We are set to welcome back Milicic product ruthless Robbie Lawler. His opponent, likely motivated to go toe-to-toe, former Indiana boxing champion Chris Lytle. Ruthless Robbie Lawler returns to UFC action against Chris Lights Out Lytle. Lawler made a huge impact with his debut at UFC 37 against Iron Chin Aaron Riley. It was a 3-round war that is considered to be one of the best fights in UFC history. He followed up that win with knockouts of Steve Berger at UFC 37.5 and Tiki at UFC 40. Lawler's only loss came against Pete the Secret Weapon Spratt at UFC 42. Lawler suffered a hip injury that forced him to quit at 2:28 of the 2nd round.
I'm back, my hip's 100%, and I'm ready to get back in the octagon. My strategy is just to go out there and fight, move and react, and it has nothing to do with him. It's like a video game. You go out there and you just do what you're supposed to do.
Chris Lights Out Lytle is a well-rounded fighter who can win by submission or knockout.
I don't think he's got that much experience. in mixed martial arts at all. I think he's kind of more of just a brawler, more of just I'm going to hit you harder than you're going to hit me type boxer. There's some holes in there that I can get in and actually use boxing skills instead of brawling skills.
Up next, ruthless Robbie Lawler versus Chris Lights Out Lytle. Indianapolis, Indiana native Chris Lights Out Lytle, formerly just a grappler, now experienced in the professional boxing world with an 8-1-1 boxing record. The Indiana fireman wants to light up Robbie Lawler here tonight.
The word is that Chris Lytle's got excellent hands. He's an excellent striker, very patient, very precise, looks for openings. Robbie Lawler's a wild guy, and with wild striking comes openings. That's what Chris Lytle feels that he's going to capitalize on in this fight.
Second time in the octagon for Chris Lytle, the first time November 17th, 2000. He lost that fight to Ben Earwood. He wants to claim his first career UFC victory tonight. To do it, he'll have to defeat the San Diego, California native, ruthless Robbie Lawler. He missed 7 months with that hip flexor injury that he says was not a result of Pete Spratt. Some disagree. What we know tonight is that he will come, and he will come aggressively.
Well, only Robbie knows when the injury actually took place, but the bottom line is he was losing that bout. He was losing that bout to a superior striker. He's gone back to the drawing board. He's healed up his leg. He's a very powerful puncher. All he needs is a little more discipline in how he throws those punches, a little more seasoning in where he places his shots. He's a future superstar if he keeps down this road. Chris Lytle is in his path tonight, though.
Pat Miletich told me Robbie Lawler comes in tonight in the best shape of his young career. 21 years old and unbridled potential for ruthless Robbie Lawler. Our tale of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. 29-year-old Chris Lytle, second time in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. After a 7-month healing process, Robbie Lawler re-enters the UFC.
Still only 21.
Yep, lots of time ahead, but his time, he hopes, is right now.
He's an animal.
To get us officially started, here is the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this first bout of the evening consists of 3 5-minute rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, the fighter standing to my left. This man is a mixed martial arts fighting expert with a mixed martial arts record of 26 wins, 9 losses, and 4 draws. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Indianapolis, Indiana, please welcome Chris Lights Out Lytle. And his opponent, standing to my right. This man is an expert in the Miletich fighting systems. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 7 wins with 1 loss. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Davenport, Iowa, please welcome ruthless Robbie Lawler.
Sold out Mohegan Sun Arena here for UFC 45 Revolution. A man who knows the history of this sport well. Big John McCarthy will be our referee.
Here we go, gentlemen. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Lytle and Lawler will get our night underway. What we think we will see is the pro boxer wanting to go toe-to-toe with the guy who loves to slug. This could be very entertaining.
Robbie likes to slug. He stands in a southpaw position, very unorthodox, and he likes to throw big, wild, crazy right hooks.
White trunks, as you
takes
saw,
him down.
For Lytle.
Oh, he's stuck in the guillotine.
Spins out of it, cartwheels, or did he get out of it?
He's out.
Lytle does have a grappling background. Wrestled in high school in the state of Indiana, attended Indiana University. He's a fireman now in his home state. Trying to work that neck a bit.
Oh, nice. Good sweep, but Robbie avoided it. Lytle's showing some pretty good ground skills here. He's very comfortable in this position.
Well, as comfortable as Lytle is on his feet. Good slam. Taking a page out of Matt Hughes' book. That's that Miletich training.
Absolutely. I mean, you train Miletich fighting systems, you're training with the toughest animals in the business. Jeremy Horn, Matt Hughes, Jens Pulver, Tony Fricklin. That's just a room full of animals. Tim Sylvia. How can you not, if you survive, you get better. And the kid's only 21.
Ruthless Robbie Lawler.
Lytle's doing a good job of defending on his back. And now the word is also that Lytle has excellent submissions. We'll see if he can work something from here. What is that?
I have no idea.
That's the first time I've ever seen that. Robbie Lawler threw his legs back and tried to somehow or another unhook Lytle's guard.
Trying to do some damage within the guard.
And Lytle went for a leg.
Lawler trying to tee off with the left. Lytle avoiding at this point. Half guard now. Somewhat. See if he can get a dominant position from here, Joe.
Lawler seems to be overpowering him. Every time he tries to do something, Lawler seems to be much stronger than him.
Working in close quarters. Not what we truly expected to see, but it seems like Lawler's very comfortable here. Pat Miletich told me before the fight tonight, if Lawler has improved the most in one area, it is his grappling skills.
Oh, big right hand.
And that
big
connects.
Right
he just misses with the second left.
Lytle's going for a heel hook. Oh, looks like he's got it. It looks like he's got it. He's got his hand under the ankle. This could be ugly.
Robbie is shaking his head no for now. Left connects to Lytle. Can
Here's
he
the
hold
problem
on?
with going for heel hooks. You leave yourself exposed for punches.
And Robbie did the best
thing.
thing there, Joe. He threw a big haymaker and forced Lytle to let go.
Yeah, that's the thing about going for leg locks. Every time you go for a leg lock, you basically commit yourself to that leg, and if the guy's got his two hands free, and if he can see your head, he's going to punch it, and those are free shots.
Robbie Lawler's father, a drag racer in the 40s. Taekwondo black belt. Robbie grew up around the sport of Taekwondo and mixed martial arts.
Let's go, let's go.
Now he's trying to zoom himself up the welterweight raceway.
Robbie's trying to pass his guard right here. He's in Lytle's half guard. He wants to slide his left leg through.
Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Lawler on the top, black trunks, white trim. Chris Lytle, his second entrance into the UFC, but he's a very experienced mixed martial artist. Nearly 40 fights in his MMA career.
Lytle's doing a good job of stifling Robbie Lawler here, but he's not getting anything done.
Lytle has that look of frustration.
Well, he's stuck underneath here. He's got to figure out a way to sweep Robbie.
Hook and shoot, absolute fighting championship champion, 175 Indiana State boxing champion, 175-pound weight class for Chris Lytle. Works with Jason Godsey.
Robbie's still trying to pass that guard. He's got to get his left leg out in order to do some real damage here. He's trapped in between Lytle's legs. If he can get his left leg out and get either inside control or the mount. All right, now Lytle's got him in full guard again. If he can posture up, Robbie can still land some shots. When you see Lytle throwing his legs up like that, he's looking to secure a submission. He's looking to try to get an arm, lock a shoulder down, and perhaps get him in an arm bar or a triangle.
He's trying to throw down from within the guard. Now he's out and he delivers and just misses with the right.
This is where Robbie's dangerous. If you give him room to punch, he's going to hurt you. Oh, big kick from the bottom.
And Robbie Lawler smiles and says, bring it on. Goes for the midsection.
He's got an arm trap here. He can get a triangle. If Lytle can secure a triangle here, all he needs to do is get his right leg, get his right foot underneath his left knee. Robbie's not enough time.
What a great finish to round one.
Good ground and pound by Robbie Lawler. Let's take another look at the ending of that fight.
Don't stay.
Robbie throwing some bombs from the top. And he gives him some space. And he gets kicked in the head. You give Robbie some room, he's going to throw some bombs on you. And here comes the kick. Boom!
Oh, he connected.
And
did you see the reaction? You see the reaction of Robbie Lawler.
Robbie's a tough kid.
Control the biceps when you're inside the guard. You understand? Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece. Okay.
Robbie Lawler, Chris Lytle, entertaining round number 1 here to begin our evening at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. See if this second round stays on its feet a little while. Remember we said, pro boxing experience and a good follow with the kick by Chris Lytle.
Lytle looks very comfortable standing up. Robbie's got a much more unorthodox style. Sometimes he catches guys with wild stuff because of that, because he comes from odd angles. He just explodes and swings at you. Lytle's much more orthodox.
After the turn of the calendar page, UFC 46, Super Saturday. Mandalay Bay featured matchup for the UFC light heavyweight crown. Randy Couture, Vitor Belfort. Tickets on sale now. This will be supernatural. Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas, Ultimate Fighting Championship action.
Lytle's having success with the left hook. He's landed it twice so far. One time Robbie stepped back and threw his arms and kind of mocked him. And the second time he landed it again. That's an opening.
Show respect here in this second round. Both realize the other can do some damage.
If Lytle's had some success with that left hook, look for him to feint with his right hand and throw the left hook over the top when Robbie reacts to it. He's swinging with the left hook.
McCarthy trying to push the pace a bit.
Lytle mixes it up really well, too. That's another thing you're going to see from him. If he thinks that Robbie's looking for punches, he'll throw some kicks. Very intelligent fighter.
Get him leaning down to defend that kick and then come around with a big haymaker.
Yeah, I don't know what Robbie's doing here. He's moving around. I don't know, he's looking for an opening or looking to shoot. Another leg kick. Robbie moves away every time Lytle moves in. It doesn't look like he wants any of this exchange.
He's not really connecting with those left kicks, but he's neutralizing any type of offense that Lawler might possess here.
Well, Lawler's not offering any offense right now. He's just moving away. This is very unusual for him. I hope he's not hurt again. This is very unusual for Robbie Lawler. He's usually very aggressive.
Now, he has claimed many times that the damage inflicted on the hip that cost him 7 months of rehabilitation had no bearing on what Pete Spratt was doing to him that night. In fact, he said, Dr. Rogan, it was not Pete Spratt.
Did he say that? I'm not a doctor.
He did say that.
Good right hand like Chris Lytle.
Lytle now. And Lawler counter.
Big right hand by Robbie Lawler. That's where he's dangerous.
In close quarter, he swings it around.
Look, if you brawl with him, he's got the power. Robbie Lawler is a much more powerful striker. Chris Lytle is a little more seasoned. Chris Lytle's a little more precise and technical. But Robbie Lawler, if he hits you, he's going to put you to sleep.
He's a home run hitter.
Without a doubt. Every punch is a home run. You see, he just swings. He's just got Jack Dempsey written all over him. Every time he swings, he's trying to cripple you.
He's a defensive end. He's looking for sacks. He's not looking to contain the run. He's looking to crush the quarterback. Good body shot by Lytle.
With Robbie Lawler's style, he has to be in excellent condition because every punch he throws, he explodes. Lytle can pick his spots, have speed, decide when to throw real power shots, look for openings. Robbie just went, and he almost caught him with the left hand there as he's coming in.
1 minute, 17 seconds remains in round 2. Scheduled duration of 3 5-minute rounds, welterweight matchup. Lytle trying to find the win column for the first time in his UFC career.
Lytle landed a leg kick to his butt, and Robbie Lawler laughed. Robbie just kind of moving away from him again. He might be pacing himself for another explosion.
This is kind of what we thought we would see, although we thought both fighters would engage a bit more.
Oh, nice right kick. Nice leg kick by Robbie Lawler.
And going down, Lytle gets a little right in.
I don't think Lytle expected that. Nice inside leg kick.
Lytle trying to work some combinations. 30 seconds remains in round 2. Lawler very defensive, as you have pointed out a few times, Joe, here in this round.
You know what? He might have a strategy. He might be patient, might be deciding to pace himself a little more and explode later.
Let's go, let's go.
Well, he looked good ground and pound in round 1. This is a very different looking round number 2.
This is a very, there he goes, big right hook, big left hand.
Man, he swings for the fences and swings for the fences only.
Every time. Every time.
You will never say Pete Rose and Robbie Lawler in the same sentence, because Robbie Lawler does not like hitting singles.
No, let's take a look at some of the action here. Big right hand by Robbie Lawler. Left to the body, left hook to the head. See, that's when he's dangerous. You slug with him, he's going to get you. And Lytle realized that, and Lytle got out. Watch this left hook. When he brawls, if Lytle wants to stand right in front of him, Robbie's going to hit him.
Tonight's main event for the welterweight championship. Lawler's teammate, Matt Hughes, defends his title for the 5th time. Newcomer Frank Trigg will try to take away the hardware. Matt Hughes, Frank Trigg, welterweight championship here tonight, our 10th anniversary of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. November 12th, 1993, Denver's McNichols Arena. UFC 1 took place. The UFC was born. Hall of Fame inductees tonight. Your Viewer Choice Awards. Third round set, Lytle in the white shorts. Lawler in the black with the white trim. I think on the ground and pound you would give round 1 to Robbie Lawler.
Oh, good exchange.
Lytle thought so. Something tells me somebody's going to get knocked out here in the 3rd round.
Oh, good uppercut. Robbie snuck in with an uppercut. Oh, he showed his right hand. Looks like Robbie's looking to pick a spot to blast. Maybe that's what all this backing up is about. I mean, he doesn't seem to be intimidated by Chris Lytle. He's not getting hurt. This might just be an unusual strategy for him. He might just be picking a spot to explode.
He's having fun out there, that's for certain. Just a young man, 21 years old.
Bright future ahead of this guy if he continues in the sport.
Pat Miletich told me that his work ethic has finally caught up to his ability.
You know, he's still a young kid.
Yeah, and if that's the case, watch out. Well, let's see him ignite here. Look at the uppercuts. He's smiling every time Lytle gets a shot or two in.
Oh,
fakes that one.
Kick.
Yep, and Lytle acknowledges.
You really see the contrasting strategies in the way they strike. Lytle is much more measured.
Yep.
Robbie just is an animal.
Well, Robbie's trying to disguise his punches now.
Look at that.
Look at these guys. How about this?
What is going on here?
Little bit of posturing going on both sides.
Robbie gets nailed and he just screams and throws his hands up in the air. This kid's crazy.
This one's going to end by knockout. I don't know who's going to get it yet, but it's going to end by knockout.
It's going to end. This is how it's going to end. This is Lawler's best shot to win this fight.
Steps out of the way of the left.
Oh, nice.
And a combination by Lytle. And down goes Lytle.
He got rocked and he started clapping when he went down. He got
a few shots in as well, Joe.
He did, but there's a big difference in the power. Robbie Lawler is a harder hitter, and Chris Lytle's hurt right now. He got nailed. He nailed Robbie. Robbie took it. Robbie nailed him. He went down.
Listen to the crowd react here at the Mohegan Sun. He's got finish in his eyes, does young Robbie Lawler.
And Lytle's chasing him, which is probably not the best thing to do right now.
But he feels like he's a pro boxer now, Joe.
Well, you know what? These aren't pro boxing gloves. These are little tiny 4-ounce gloves, and they hurt a whole lot more than big 8 or 10-ounce boxing gloves.
But this is why we thought this would be a great matchup, because they would be willing to go toe-to-toe in exchange.
Let's go.
In what was a slower-paced 2nd round, had certainly picked up here in the 3rd.
Could you imagine the kind of damage that a guy like Lennox Lewis could do with a 4-ounce glove like that?
Yes, and I don't want to.
I do. I want to see that. I can't wait to the day where a really good pro boxer enters in. Another exchange. Lytle looks like he's losing a little steam here.
147 remains in the fight. Lawler wants the home run. He wants the finish. Tried to work the uppercut and steps away from Chris Lytle. To put your opponent at risk, you must take some. And that is what Lawler has been willing to do here in the third.
You know what?
Straight left.
He's only got 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this bout. In my opinion, Robbie should turn this on and take this kid out. I think Lytle's still hurt.
And you know what? You don't want to leave anything up to the judges.
Exactly.
Left connects.
He got caught backing out straight.
There's a kick.
Good leg kick. Robbie should lure this guy into another exchange and blast him out of here.
And Lytle must feel that he's behind on points after that first round, the ground and pound dominance up top. And another takedown into Robbie. Wonder if he's got the energy to take him down here with just 47 seconds remaining. A glance towards the big screens here in Mohegan Sun to keep track of the time remaining in the round.
That's what Robbie wants.
There's a takedown.
Nice sweep by Lytle, going for another heel hook. Lytle's very slow. He's got his back. He's got his back.
Well, as you mentioned before, you go for the heel. You go for the heel, you get hit in the head a lot of times.
He's got one hook in. If he can hold on to this position. Oh, suplex! And Robbie's laughing. If Lytle can get his hooks in from here, he's got his back.
10 seconds remains.
Oh,
7 seconds remains.
Robbie escaped. Very nice.
Lawler escapes. It's going to be a fight to the finish. A frantic finish, and it's all over.
Great finish.
They will go to the judges' scorecards. Robbie Lawler saying to Chris Lytle, great fight, great fight.
Wow.
I concur.
Very exciting. Very exciting and very interesting contrast in styles. Let's take a look at the replay where Robbie Lawler gets nailed. Look at this. It's rocked and just throws his hands up and screams. And then Chris Lytle claps. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Here's the right hand to put Chris Lytle down.
Oh,
whoa,
wow.
He was rocked. And look, he goes down and claps. And Robbie stands over him. Robbie didn't follow him to the ground. Nice. Look at that. When have you ever seen that? A guy get rocked and then clap. These are two warriors in here, folks. Very unusual exchange.
That right would have finished the night of a lesser man.
Oh, Chris Lytle's tough as nails. Let's take a look at the end of the fight here. Chris Lytle had his back. Suplex. Looks to stick the hooks in and get the choke, and he almost got it. He's got the arm around the throat. He just didn't get that left hook in, and Robbie escaped. He didn't control Robbie's body, and Robbie got out of it. Very entertaining fight.
So we await the judge's decision.
Robbie's walking away, screaming, laughing. What a wild man. Just walks away with a big smile on his face, laughing. That's a crazy kid.
Take you back to the first round. Let's recap 15 minutes of pretty non-stop action.
Nice slam by Robbie Lawler. Little ground and pound. Nice punch to the body. And he gets caught with a kick in the head.
Round 2. Passive round overall, but a couple of good exchanges. And in round 3, the fireworks erupted.
Here comes the big left hand. Robbie Lawler gets down with a right and screams and flexes. That's the punch that dropped him.
The official decision has been rendered. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Sometimes that's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Jeff Mullen scores the bout 29-28. Judge Doug Crosby scores the bout 29-28. And Judge Cecil People scores the bout 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Ruthless Robbie Lawler.
I'm sure we'll be meeting up again. You know what I'm saying?
Ruthless Robbie Lawler, victorious.
Shirts and
for the 4th time in his UFC career. Here's Eddie Bravo.
Congratulations, Robbie, on an amazing victory. That has to be one of the best fights of the year. I think you surprised a lot of people by taking Lytle down early in the fight. Does that mean your hip's not 100%?
No, it's fine. He crowded me, so I just went for a few knee taps like I've been working. I want to thank my sponsors, Full Contact Fighter, Black Ice, Nutrition by Science, International Sportswear, We Care Chiropractic, Jersey Ridge Chiropractic. What's up?
All right, we're going to take a look at the right hand that dropped Lytle. How'd you set it up?
Hey, he was swinging, I was swinging, and he hit me like a few times. Mine was just a little harder. Caught him in a good spot. He went down. What can I say? What up?
All right, congratulations once again. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Eddie, thank you very much. I'll tell you one thing, Joe Rogan, this kid loves to fight. And he is victorious here this evening at the Mohegan Sun. UFC 45 is being brought to you by Mohegan Sun, a legendary gaming experience and host venue for UFC 45 Revolution. By TDK Media Active, publishers of UFC Tap Out 2 on the Xbox video game system from Microsoft, now on sale. By the Gordon Beers Brewing Company, beer like it ought to be. By Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. By Ultimate Knockouts 1 and 2 combo and home video. The UFC is back on DVD, bigger and better than ever. Get Ultimate Knockouts Combo 1 and 2 featuring over 40 of the best knockouts in the UFC's 10-year history. Available December 30th at FYE and other fine retailers. And brought to you by UFC 21st Century Sports with your host Al Bernstein. Catch the story of the history, evolution, and revolution of the UFC on TV everywhere. As we celebrate a decade of UFC memories, we enshrine the first 2 inductees into the UFC Hall of Fame. The sport he displayed was centuries old. His own family had been dominant in their homeland in his sport forever. Royce Gracie burst onto the scene at UFC 1. He would become the first UFC champion. He would become the first UFC legend. And tonight, he will become one of the first to be enshrined into the UFC Hall of Fame.
On November 12, 1993, Royce Gracie made history by becoming the first ever UFC tournament champion. His family was renowned in Brazil for their art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and for winning numerous fights with little rules. They were the masters at taking their opponents to the ground and finishing them with submission holds. Royce's father, Helio, modified the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu techniques they had learned to better work for people with less physical strength. Going on looks alone, no one would have picked the lanky young Brazilian to come out on top of the 8 men who entered that tournament. Some of the fighters were built like bodybuilders. Some were as tall as 6 foot 6 inches, and some as heavy as 415 pounds. Royce stood 6 foot and weighed 176 pounds, his lean frame concealed by a jiu-jitsu gi. Royce Gracie went on to shock the martial arts world by winning the tournament with ease. Many people's misconceptions about real fighting were blown out of the water. Royce went on to win the 16-man tournament at UFC 2, and then won another 8-man tournament at UFC 4. At UFC 5, Royce participated in the first ever UFC super fight against Ken Shamrock, which went to a draw. Royce Gracie's influence on not only the UFC, but martial arts as a whole is undeniable. Royce and his family helped to create and popularize the sport of mixed martial arts worldwide. Royce Gracie, pioneer, champion, legend.
Our UFC Hall of Fame induction ceremony later tonight. Royce Gracie will be joined by Ken Shamrock. They will be the charter members of the UFC Hall of Fame. And who else would be better choices. They love him on the eastern seaboard. The New York badass Phil Baroni once again ready and able, wants to tee up and display striking dominance. His combatant a lighter and leaned out, Evan Tanner. Now in the middleweight division, we feature the return of the New York badass Phil Baroni against Evan Tanner, who will be making his middleweight debut. The New York badass Phil Baroni returns to the octagon after an almost 9-month layoff after suffering a major injury in training. Phil tore his pectoral muscle, but after surgery and rehab, he says he is stronger than ever. He looks to once again show off his speed and power like he did against such top competition as Dave Manet and Amar Suloev.
My prediction for this fight, vicious knockout. I'm taking him out. I'm taking him out fast. If you just happen to be sitting in the 6th row, heads up, because that's where his jaw will be after this fight. Catch it, hold on to it, find me after the show, and I'll autograph that bitch for you.
Evan Tanner is taking a page out of training partner Randy Couture's book and dropping down a weight class. Always a top contender at light heavyweight, Tanner could be a monster at middleweight. Tanner also trains with the only man to have ever beaten Baroni, Matt Lindland.
Matt Lindland has given me, a couple pointers on facing Phil Baroni, but I don't want to get into details or anything. This could be the fight of the night. Keep your eyes open. It's going to go fast, I think.
There's a lot of pride on the line for this one. Coming up next, the New York badass Phil Baroni versus Evan Tanner. Now the Texan, Evan Tanner, down to 185 pounds. He always sought that rematch with Tito Ortiz, so he would fight very easily at 205. He easily has gotten down to 185, and we know what dropping a weight class has done for his training partner, Randy the Natural Couture.
Yeah, Evan Tanner was always a small guy at 205 pounds. He's a very big guy at 185 pounds. He's very good in the clinch. He's got excellent knees and elbows. And he's got very good submissions on the ground. What he has to worry about, though, is the strikes of Phil Baroni. He showed when he fought when he fought Rich Franklin, he has a tendency to reach, and he's not that comfortable standing up throwing punches. Phil Baroni is very comfortable standing up throwing punches, and he believes that that's going to be the end of this fight. He thinks he's going to knock Evan Tanner out standing.
Many believe this is a career-making or breaking occasion for Evan Tanner. Long Island, New York, the New York badass Phil Baroni. Rehabilitated, re-energized.
Phil Baroni's a big puncher, very heavy hands. He's an excellent wrestler, very good at avoiding the takedown, but he loves to punch. He likes to keep you up standing and knock you out, a la Dave Manet. I mean, that fight was just one of the most brutal displays of punching power we've ever seen in the UFC. Make no mistake about it, if Evan Tanner gets caught with one of those big right hands, he's going to get hurt.
Always fun to watch Phil Baroni in the same fashion as it is always enjoyable to watch our welterweight, ruthless Robbie Lawler. Baroni in the same fashion will swing for the fences. Tail of the Tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC. Found at nitro.tv, 32-year-old Evan Tanner is down to 185 pounds. He will have a definitive reach advantage on 5'9", 25-year-old Phil Baroni, now fighting out of Las Vegas. The New York badass will have plenty in attendance to support him tonight. For the official introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout consists of 3 5-minute rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, the fighter standing to my left. This man is a freestyle fighting expert who holds a mixed martial arts record of 8 wins and 2 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Gresham, Oregon, please welcome Evan Tanner! And his opponent, standing to my right, This man is an expert in Brooklyn brawling. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 6 wins and 2 losses. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome the New York Badass, Phil Baroni.
And I quote, Brooklyn brawling.
He's got a degree in that, I believe.
I think he does. A master's. But will he master Evan Tanner? Larry Landless will be our referee. Tanner.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
And Baroni are set to go. How quickly will Evan Tanner want to bring this to the ground?
Very quickly. If he's standing up, he's going to want to clinch. That's the first thing he's going to do. Nice leg kick by Evan Tanner.
White shorts for Baroni.
Right hand by Baroni. He dropped
He caught him already. He caught him already, and he's trying to go in for the finish. Tanner.
Baroni's got vicious power.
Tanner wants the takedown because he got caught a couple of times already. The hand speed of Phil Baroni is ridiculously excessive.
He's got great hand speed, but the most important thing is when he hits you, it hurts. Everything hurts. He's got heavy hands.
The knee.
Good body shot.
And down goes Tanner.
For the body shots.
Tanner trying to work early. This one may finish quickly. Baroni teeing off.
Phil's doing a good job standing up. He's peeling his arms off. He's going to try to push away here and get off the fence. Look for Baroni to push him away and start punching.
Now Tanner knows the clinch. He's already opened up. Tanner's in big trouble. Landless is right there.
Protect yourself.
Can Tanner intelligently defend himself? They're going to stop the fight, and they're going to check the cut. They're going to check the cut under Evan Tanner's left eye.
Evan Tanner is walking around in a daze.
This is a stoppage to check the cut under Evan Tanner's left eye.
His eyes do not look clear. Besides the cut, his eyes do not look clear. I think that was a big right hand. Let's take a look at it. This is what started it all off.
Bam.
Boom, boom, another one. See, it's not, these aren't even long punches. These are in short, but Phil Baroni's got big power. They're gonna let this fight go on. Evan Tanner looks rough.
Baroni's got to feel confident.
Very confident. I don't know what Evan Tanner can do differently. This is how these two match up.
Are you ready?
Evan Tanner's just not that good standing, and Phil Baroni's very good standing.
Well, and Baroni's going to try to finish it right now.
He looks very relaxed, too.
Right here, right now. Tanner knows it.
Another right hand.
This is a dangerous situation for Evan Tanner. Can he get the clinch?
But as he's going to get the clinch, he leaves himself nice knees inside.
And that's what Tanner's good at, Joe. He's got great knees, and if he can pull the head down and get the knee up and connect, he's going to have the same force on Baroni. Dirty boxing was working there.
Phil's holding the back of his head and punching him with right hands.
Yourself, Evan.
Tanner.
Good right kick to Phil's left leg.
You know what? It seems as if Tanner is regaining his composure.
A little bit, but he got rocked again right after you said that. Evan's success is in the clinch. He needs to grab a hold of Phil's head quickly, but the problem is when you reach for that, which, like we saw when he fought Rich Franklin, that's when he gets caught with punches.
Is Baroni in danger of being overly aggressive here and making a mistake?
Baroni's an overly aggressive guy, but he believes that over-aggression is his strength.
Keep him up.
He will dictate the pace. He's one of those guys that says, I don't worry about my opponent. I'm going to bring my game plan, and they're going to have to defend against that.
They're pummeling inside, looking for position.
And Tanner wants control the way that Lindland controlled Baroni. That's what Tanner's in search of. Tanner looking to his corner. Randy Couture. And the Team Quest team.
If Tanner can keep him away and throw those kicks, he's going to wear him out. He's got good leg kicks in there by Tanner. And Phil's getting a little arm weary. His punches aren't coming with as much snap.
Now Tanner is taking some punishment here in the first. What an impressive showing for him to survive the onslaught of Baroni punches thus far.
2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Watch that knee. Watch that knee.
Baroni has truly used a lot of energy here in the first 3+ minutes, throwing with frequency.
Yeah, I'm sure he thought that Tanner would be out by now. He had him really rocked, and if it wasn't for that referee stepping in and checking the cut, he might be rocked. Baroni's going to take him to the ground. Oh, excuse me, Tanner's taking him to the ground.
And Tanner has him up against the octagon fence.
Phil looks a little tired here.
Dan Henderson, Randy Couture telling him to take it now.
And Tanner has excellent submissions.
At least thus far, this fight reminds me a bit of Randy Pedro 1, where Pedro punished Randy over and over again with strikes. Randy survived, and then he eventually got into his game plan.
This is definitely a much better place for Tanner. Little payback here. Tanner's going to want to pass the guard, and Matt, he's hitting Phil with some big right hands.
Wow.
Let's go, Baroni.
Who would have thought you'd be seeing this after the first couple minutes?
All right.
Well, obviously, somewhere in the heart of Evan Tanner, somebody did.
All right, Tanner's looking to pass right now. He's looking to mount. He's got the mount. Bad
30
spot for Phil
seconds
Baroni.
left.
Big
And
elbows.
there's the ground and pound. The elbows of Evan Tanner.
Oh,
trying to finish off Phil Baroni.
Come on, guys, come on out.
Elbows. Elbows.
Let's go.
He says, Larry Landless. Phil Baroni verbally has tapped out. Phil Baroni, in the eyes of Larry Landless, has verbally tapped out.
It looks like a miscommunication there. Oh, look at this. It looks like Phil thought he was saying, "Are you okay?" And Phil said, "Yeah." When Larry was asking, "Do you want out?" Unbelievable.
Larry claims that he twice asked Phil, and Phil said stop.
I think what Phil thought he was saying was,
No, stop asking me. Fucking relax, Phil. Jesus Christ, relax.
I think Phil thought he was saying, "Are you okay?" And Phil was saying yes. Let's take a look at some of those knees that Evan Tanner was landing. He got the clinch, and that's Evan's strong point right there. Nice knees to the body by Evan Tanner, just over and over again. Those, I'm sure, contributed to Phil wearing out. Now let's take a look at the end of the fight. He's got him mounted, very bad position, and Evan's got vicious elbows from this position. Over and over and over again. And he's looking to Larry Landless, I think, to tell him he's okay. You see right away, he's throwing, he's fine.
Yeah, there's no way he would react so quickly. One would guess. One would guess.
I believe that was a miscommunication. Phil was taking those shots, and Larry was coming over and asking him questions, and Phil was telling us right now that he was saying, "Don't stop it, don't stop it." He thought that the referee was asking him if he's okay. He was saying yes, but what Larry was asking him was, "Do you want out?" Just a terrible miscommunication.
Phil Baroni
Phil's
is
telling
verbalizing to us that he kept saying, "Do you want out?" And Phil replied, "No, no, no."
Look, Phil Baroni's not going to tap out from getting punched. He'll go out before he taps out. I think this is just an unfortunate miscommunication.
He even said it.
Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Larry Landless has called an end to this contest at 4 minutes 42 seconds of the very first round. For the winner, Evan Tanner!
Congratulations, Evan, on a fantastic victory. Probably one of the best comebacks in recent memory. You were hurt, you were cut. How did you turn it around?
I just tried to stay calm and stay in there. I knew I was in better shape. Tell you what, that guy hits hard. That hurt.
Okay, we're gonna take a look at the end of the fight. When you're in the mount, dropping elbows, what was going through your mind?
Just thinking if I could get some good, clean elbow shots. You know, those are hard to take. It's not like a punch. So you get hit with a couple elbows, it can change the whole fight, which it looks like it did.
All right, congratulations one more time. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Very, very unfortunate that the fight had to end this way and take away from a beautiful performance by Evan Tanner. I mean, Evan Tanner clearly turned it around, and he was dominating the fight, and he could have won it legitimately. Very unfortunate that it had to end that way. But
now,
hey,
credit should be given to Evan Tanner. As he described to Eddie Bravo, he took some punishment.
And makes for a great rematch.
Punishment.
Makes for a great rematch.
Yeah, natural rematch indeed, and we'll look forward to it. Earlier tonight, the arrival of the UFC's welterweight champion. He'll defend his belt for the 5th time this evening. Matt Hughes out of the Militich camp. Just no flair, no drama to Matt Hughes. It is what it is, and he is a dominating champion. Will he dominate Frank Trigg? We will find out later in our featured matchup of the evening as Matt Hughes has arrived here at the Mohegan Sun Arena.
Crazy thing about Matt Hughes is he just likes farming. That's what he likes most. He's one of the most exciting 170-pound fighters in the world, but he likes farming, which is baffling to me. But that's what makes Matt Hughes Matt Hughes. You wouldn't want to change a thing.
Mohegan Sun Arena, Uncasville, Connecticut. Site of tonight's historic evening, UFC 45 Revolution. And how about what we have forthcoming? UFC 46 Super Saturday from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Our featured matchup that night will be for the UFC light heavyweight crown.
Randy Couture, a UFC legend.
It is over. A stunning upset. Taking it to Chuckle down. Teeing off on Tito Ortiz.
Vitor the Phenom belt for his back. And he wants Randy's belt. 2 of the UFC's most popular fighters collide in an epic rematch, this time for the UFC light heavyweight title. Miller Lite presents the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC 46, on Events in Demand pay-per-view.
Tickets on sale right now. Supernatural Super Saturday. First time in UFC history, we will compete on a Saturday night. Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas. Are you kidding me? The Octagon is open. UFC 46 Supernatural Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, January 31st. Tickets are on sale right now. Right here, right now, we're at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. The loyalty of the mixed martial arts fan is undeniable. So we asked you to cast your vote, and you did in the hundreds of thousands for your favorite UFC legends. We said, who would you want to honor if we could have our first ever Viewers' Choice Awards? Who made your top 10 list? Let's find out. Won by rear choke and then collapsed exhausted on the octagon floor in need of oxygen in one of the gutsiest victories against a much larger opponent. At number 9, the Croatian sensation, Pat Miletić. He defeated Mikey Burnett to become the first ever UFC 170-pound world champion. He did it at Ultimate Brazil. At number 8, the king of the streets, Marco Ruas, made his UFC debut at UFC 7, winning the 8-man tournament. At number 7, Dan the Beast Severn will be best remembered for winning the Triple Crown of the UFC, with wins at UFC 5, Ultimate 95, and UFC 9. At number 6, Mark the Hammer Coleman defeated Dan Severn to become the first ever UFC World Heavyweight Champion. At number 5, Don the Predator Fry will be remembered for his big win at the Ultimate 96 8-man tournament. At number 4, David Tank Abbott will go down as a legend for scoring some of the most brutal knockouts in UFC history. At number 3, Royce Gracie introduced the world to the effectiveness of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Royce won the only 16-man tournament the UFC would ever have. At number 2, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. Ken will forever be known as the UFC's first super fight champion. And at number 1, even though he is still the current champion by a huge margin in the voting, you, the fans, have picked Randy the Natural Couture as your all-time favorite legend. To see all the UFC greats gathered. Good thing Randy Couture's standing in the middle of Royce and Ken. And Tank Abbott will fight still tonight. Joe, you are one of the greatest proponents and hugest fans of this sport. It's got to give you chills to see all those legends gathered under one roof.
Those guys have changed martial arts. 10 years ago in 1993, people had a completely different perception of what was and what wasn't effective in real fighting. Those guys are the pioneers. They made it all happen. And it's amazing to see them all together in one room. And it's amazing to think that this is 10 years. Martial arts have changed more in 10 years than they have in the last 1,000 years. And it's all because of the UFC.
And 10 years ago, it was Royce Gracie, the jiu-jitsu man, against Ken Shamrock, the wrestler, the submission specialist. Now they are all, as you pointed out, truly mixed martial artists.
To be effective at the top of the heap right now, you must be a true mixed martial artist. The sport really has evolved over those 10 years, and we just get to see it tonight, and it's an amazing thing to be a part of.
Well, it certainly is a celebration tonight. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and with that in mind, you can get your UFC Special Edition collectible casino chips. Mail in a copy of your cable or satellite bill indicating the purchase of UFC 45 Revolution to UFC 45 offer, P.O. Box 5675, Rockville Center, New York, 11571. Request must be received by March 5th of 04. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. 1 request per household. Wide supplies last. Man, wouldn't that be something to see? Almost as special as what we are seeing with them all under the roof tonight. Controversial stoppage of Phil Baroni's fight against Evan Tanner. For more on that, let's check in with Eddie Bravo.
I'm backstage with Phil Baroni. Obviously, you're disappointed at what happened tonight. What were you telling Larry Landless when you were mounted?
He kept asking me, "Do you want out? You want out?" I go, no. I winked at him, and he asked me again. I go, no. And then I wanted to just cover up, but he kept asking me, so I started trying to throw punches at him. He said, "Well, you want out? You want out?" And I'm like, no. And he jumps in. He goes, That's it. I was like, what the f***? You know, everyone knows. Anyone that's ever seen me fight knows I would never give up. So, I mean, the referee should know the fighter that he's roughing and know what kind of fighter he is. But, you know, I was out of line, and I was upset. I worked real hard for this fight. I've been training since, August 1st for this fight, and, I was out of line, and I shouldn't react that way. It's just that, it's hard right there because, all my dreams and all my hard work had stopped, and made it look like I wanted to stop, but I would never give up. Everyone knows that. I was out of line, and I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry to Landless. I'm sorry, but, I'm just hurt.
All right, thanks, Phil. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Like I said, it's an unfortunate miscommunication. He's got a good point in that the referee should know the fighter. You would just assume that Phil Baroni would never quit. And he also, a very humble apology on his behalf. I'm sure he didn't want to freak out like that. It's hard. Let's take a look at it again.
Now, it's an emotional business, and
Absolutely.
He's under full emotion there. And it was also very late in the round, so he knew not only did he not want it to stop, but he only needed to survive maybe 15 more seconds. And by the initial reaction, you can tell.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell.
Look, he was taking shots, he was blocking a lot of it, but he was very tired. He blew a lot of steam trying to take Evan Tanner out early. Very unfortunate turn of events, but like I said, leads itself to a very good rematch.
On the same hand, err on the side of caution and protect our great fighters.
Absolutely.
And that is what our referees do a great job of doing. Well, it's been argued that oftentimes fight styles dictate the quality of the fight. Standing true to that rule, this matchup has explosive potential. The original bad boy against the man known only as Cabbage. Now on to one of the most anticipated fights on the card. A match that looks to be a slugfest between two of the best brawlers in the sport. Tank Abbott versus Cabbage Carrera.
Tank all over him. Tank ferocious, landing blows.
Fighting a legend like Tank Abbott doesn't make me afraid at all, not one bit. He's old. He looks like he's in pain. I'm just gonna do him a favor.
Who's Cabbage, man? He's reading the book that I wrote.
I think Tank's finished.
I don't even know what to say to that. Cabbage is wrong.
He's tapped out his last 2 fights. He's probably gonna tap out again.
My last 2 fights, I wasn't there. I thought I could fight these guys and block whatever was in my mind out of my mind. Obviously didn't work and it manifested itself in my performance.
You go in there, you battle, you lose, you lose. You don't make up excuses.
Before, when I'd go train, I would say to myself, I do not want to be here. Now when I'm training, I want to train. I wake up to train. I can't wait to go do it. I'm benching in the 500-pound range. Doing uprights with 315. I can do curls with upwards of 150 pounds.
I bet he's training right now, but it's not going to help him. 4 months, 5 months, 6 months of training isn't going to help him for me. I'm younger, better, faster, stronger.
Listen, man, I've been brawling my whole life. You want to step in the octagon and brawl with me? We'll see what happens. He doesn't know how to punch. He doesn't know anything. He just stands there and moves.
I'm just tired of his antics already. Tank this, tank that. I'm just going to go in there and just rip him apart, mess him up, plain and simple.
I guarantee it's going to be a war, and I'm not going out on my back. He is.
Coming up next, Tank Abbott versus Cabbage Carrera. The Hilo Boy, well, the larger version of the Hilo Boy, not to be confused with BJ Penn, the man known as Cabbage.
Cabbage is a brawler. He's got excellent jiu-jitsu skills, but he said he doesn't want to use them on Tank. He's got very good punches. Don House said that Cabbage, one of the Don House, the famed boxing trainer, said Cabbage is one of the hardest punches he's ever held to miss for. He said he wants to knock Tank down, step back, let him get up, and knock him down again until he breaks his will.
Cabbage started martial arts at age 6. He was a judo brown belt by the 9th grade. He started boxing in 10th grade. Neither are very impressed with the other guys, so it'll be interesting to see whose skill and will be the one set which is undeniable in tonight's what we think potential slugfest.
Interesting note, Mike, the word on the street is that Cabbage has not been taking Tank very seriously. He's been taking it kind of lightly, and he looks a little flabby.
The other word on the street is David Tank Abbott is hard. Absolutely. Already been honored as a UFC legend, born in Orange, California. He is the Huntington Beach bad boy.
You gotta love Tank Abbott. This guy loves to fight, and he'll fight anybody. He legitimately will fight anybody. He doesn't care if he thinks they can beat him. He wants to fight. He's trained harder for this fight than any fight in recent memory, he said. He's come in, he knows it's do or die. He's lost his last 2 fights, tapping out, and he's finally got a guy who's gonna stand in front of him and bang.
And I think that's what has motivated Tank to a larger degree.
Absolutely. He knows that he's got an excellent chance of success in this fight. If Cabbage stands in front of him, very few people can get hit by Tank Abbott and not go to sleep. Power is the last thing to go.
Tail of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. 13 years older, Tank Abbott. 6 foot 253. Cabbage comes in just under the heavyweight limit. 265 pounds for the official introduction of what we think is going to be tremendous. The veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is 3 5-minute rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, the fighter standing to my left. This man is a grappling unlimited fighting expert who holds a mixed martial arts record of 19 wins with 4 losses. standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 265 pounds, fighting out of Hilo, Hawaii. Please welcome Cabbage and his opponent, standing to my right. This fighter is a brawler with a mixed martial arts record of 8 wins with 9 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 253 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the octagon, the legendary pit fighter from Huntington Beach, California, David Tank Abbott!
Joe, he's got a different look in his eyes.
He looks hungry. I'm telling you, Tank looks very focused here. Like we said before, he knows this is a guy who's going to stand in front of him.
Our referee will be Big John McCarthy.
All right, here we go, here we go. You ready, Cabbage? You ready, Tank? Let's get on!
Here we go. Tank will take the center of the ring.
Cabbage starts out with a leg kick.
Tank wants to throw. Tank with a combination. Tank going after Cabbage. We know Cabbage can take a punch. Remember the Sylvia fight.
Oh, big
Cabbage with a knee.
Cabbage. Tank looks rocked. I talked to Tim Sylvia, and Tim Sylvia said he's never been rocked in a fight before until he fought Cabbage. He said that guy punches incredibly hard.
It was amazing that night as you and I sat here octagon side watching the shots that Cabbage took.
Oh, he's got a chin of iron. He said his head is, and I quote, filled with cement and stuff.
Oh, well, that's some hard stuff. Watch the knees. That could take Tank out.
You know what? Tank's landing some big shots too, though.
And you brought up a great point. Power is the last thing to go away. Like George Foreman, heavyweights keep their power.
Oh, yeah, Tank has lost no power. He can still put you to sleep, without a doubt.
Let go, Dave.
And if Cabbage stands in front of him, he can hit him.
Knock out or be knocked out. That's been Tank's philosophy since he first walked into the octagon.
If this becomes a war, the question arises, did Cabbage train hard enough for this fight? Like right when I said that, he landed a nice knee. Good clinch, he's got the Muay Thai clinch, and knee to Tank Abbott.
Tank comes up.
Another knee.
Did he connect on it?
He's rocked.
Tank is
Tank
rocked.
looks a little rocked.
Yeah,
he's
over
cut.
the right eye, he's cut. That had to be one of the knees. He's got blood in his eye, and that's what he's trying to wipe away.
Nice jab by Tank Abbott.
Tank is going to come hard. Tank takes a left, and another left, and Tank going to bulldoze his way into Cabbage. As we expected.
Nice knee by Cabbage on the inside. He's got that Muay Thai clinch to the back of the head.
The one thing Tank can't do is try to catch his breath in this position and lean down into that knee.
Exactly, and he's getting caught with those knees. Another one on the chin. He cannot take too many of these.
One of them is going to end the night.
Cabbage looks calm and relaxed too.
And that's how Tank will try to gain his conditioning. They're going to check that cut on his eye, but that's how oftentimes he will catch his breath by leaning on his opponent. He's leaning right into those kicks.
Absolutely, good point. Cabbage, look at Cabbage sitting over there, just looks calm and relaxed. I mean, looks are deceiving. You look at that guy, you would not think that guy's one of the top heavyweight fighters in the world.
He defines deceiving looks.
Let's take a look at some of these knees. He gets a hold of that. That's a nice one right there. Oh, nice left hook, too.
It's over. It's all over. The doctor has stopped the fight due to the cut over the right eye of Tank Abbott.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, because Tank is disappointed. Tank wants to go still.
That is a big gash on his forehead, though.
Tank does not want this to be over.
That's unfortunate.
It's a doctor's stoppage.
Fast dance. Oh, John Marsh just threw something out.
What an amazing and eventful night we have had.
We don't need that. Look at this. Eddie Ruiz is squaring off with people.
And Big Ed's in the ring now.
Oh, this is just stupid. We don't need this. This is stupid. These guys should be conducting themselves like professionals, all right? It's unfortunate that there was a stoppage of the fight, but this is ridiculous. John Marsh throwing a water bottle at a guy. They're all separating each other. This is just stupid. You know what? This has no place in the professional sport of mixed martial arts. Guys trying to take cheap shots and pile on each other and throwing water bottles. This is why this sport is trying to gain mainstream mainstream acceptance, this bullshit is the last stuff we need.
And you know what it is? It was disrespect shown by Cabbage. The Cabbage dance. It's, you know, you don't. The fight was stopped because of a cut, and we've always seen, regardless of the outcome, respect, and that's what we've always bragged about, Joe.
We've seen this over and over again in this sport. You know, what Tito Ortiz does his grave digger routine, and Tank Abbott did a dance after he knocked out Matua. It happens. People disrespect each other, but to start a brawl like that, especially amongst guys who are not even fighting in the ring in this event, it's dumb.
And it wasn't Tank who reacted.
No, it's unfortunate and it's dumb. You know what? Tank is like, look, I got cut, they stopped the fight, whatever, I'll be back. That's his attitude. Unfortunately, his teammates didn't share that attitude and they got pissed off.
Look how much the fight fans love Tank Abbott.
They love the fact that Tank loves to fight. He's down to put on a show and brawl. This is very unfortunate.
Tank wants to speak. Let's get the official word from Bruce Buffer. If Tank doesn't take the microphone first.
He looks like he's got
it. At 2 minutes, 14 seconds of the very first round.
Tank just wants to address the fans.
Stop this bout. And the winner is Cabbage.
You know what? It's unfortunate that the fight got stopped because of a cut. It's more unfortunate that it almost became a brawl. In the 10-year history of the UFC, that's the first bench-clearing brawl we've ever had. I would like to hear what Tank has to say.
Well, there's a standing ovation in the house here at the Mohegan Sun for UFC legend Tank Abbott. Could this be
like to hear what Tank has
his
to say.
last moment inside the octagon?
You know
this could be the farewell dance.
I would hate to see him go out like that. I would like to see a rematch. You know what? These guys, they were brawling. He got cut. I would really like to see a rematch. It wasn't a decisive knockout. I think, personally, if the fight had gone on, there wasn't a cut in that same position, Cabbage was very close to knocking Tank out. But you can't give up on Tank. Very unfortunate turn of events. And like I said, I think the most unfortunate part of it was the brawl. You know, emotions run high, but we have to realize that this sport is being very closely watched. We're very close to mainstream acceptance, and the knock on this sport right now is that it's filled with thugs and animals, and that these guys are just brawlers, and that they're not legitimate professional athletes. But they are. We all know they are, and stuff like this doesn't help us. In fact, it hurts the cause. This is just knocking us back to the old image of this sport being a spectacle, to the old image of this sport being filled by, you know, morons who just want to step in and brawl. The people who don't know, the people who don't understand what it's all about are going to get a bad view of it from stuff like that. I mean, it happens in all sports. We see brawls in basketball, we see brawls in football, we see it in baseball. It's just unfortunate that it has to come when this sport is so close at gaining mainstream acceptance.
And Joe, we will hear from Tank Abbott still tonight. What makes a legend? The question's been asked many times. Is it skill, is it strength, attitude, success, or perhaps it is a nemesis? For Ken Shamrock, that nemesis was Royce Gracie. So it's apropos that on a night in which Royce Gracie enters the Hall of Fame, Ken Shamrock rides right along.
Ken Shamrock began his mixed martial arts career in the Pancrase organization in Japan. Ken won his first 3 fights in Pancrase, all by submission. Ken then competed in the very first UFC and made an immediate impression. He had the look, the physique, and the charisma of a star. He could fight too, as he displayed by submitting Pat Smith in 1 minute 49 seconds in the first round of the 8-man tournament by heel hook. Ken was surprised by Royce Gracie in the next round, losing by choke, but vowed to return and become a UFC champion. Ken returned at UFC 3, where he hoped to get revenge against Gracie. Ken defeated Christopher Leninger and Felix Mitchell, but suffered a leg injury and dropped out of the tournament when he learned that Royce dropped out due to injury. Ken returned to Japan, where he won the tournament to become the first ever King of Pancrase. The fans demanded Shamrock versus Gracie, so the super fight was created to ensure their matchup. The fight went to a grueling 36-minute draw. it would be Gracie's last UFC fight. Shamrock fought UFC 5 tournament champion Dan the Beast Severn for the Bacon Super Fight Championship. Shamrock won by guillotine choke in 2 minutes, 14 seconds. His dream of becoming a UFC champion had come true. He defended the super fight title against UFC 6 tournament champion Oleg Taktarov, and Chemo, the man responsible for Gracie being unable to continue in the UFC 3 tournament. Ken Shamrock became a champion in Japan and America, and later went on to become a WWF superstar and landed roles in television and movies. A television program that featured him dubbed him the world's most dangerous man. Ken helped bring mixed martial arts to the masses and has always been one of its finest ambassadors. Ken Shamrock, pioneer, champion, legend.
And Ken Shamrock is still fighting.
And tonight,
legend,
along with Royce Gracie, Joe, Ken Shamrock will be inducted as a charter member of the UFC Hall of Fame. For more on that last fight, let's go backstage. Eddie Bravo.
Thanks, Mike. I'm with Big left the last fight with Abbott.
Well, what happened is as they were fighting, Cabbage hit him with a really good knee. It opened up a really good cut right above his right eye. And I let it go for a while, and you could see that Tank was having a problem. He kept winking, and he was having a problem with the blood coming into his eye. So we stopped the fight to check with the doctor if the cut's okay and he can continue. When I brought Tank to the corner, the doctor asked him if, do you feel okay? And Tank said, I can't see. And he said, well, if you can't see, we're gonna stop the fight. Tank said, well, I'm having a hard time seeing. So the doctor says, that's it. The fight's done. That's it.
So what happened after that when John Marsh and the other guys ran in?
Well, you know, John is he's in Tank's corner and he wants Tank to win. And there was some words between the two sides, and Cabbage started doing his little Cabbage Patch dance, and I guess he didn't appreciate it. And he threw water, which he shouldn't do, and both sides started going after each other. And it's a little bit more than you want, but cooler heads prevail in the end, and everything's okay.
Well, there you have it. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
I'll tell you one thing, if you want to feel safe inside the octagon, you want John McCarthy as the third man there.
Absolutely.
Decades of training as a police officer, trains police officers now, understands how to control a crowd, especially when it's an angry crowd.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that he was in there to separate those guys and try to keep the peace. And hopefully it won't happen again.
Now we will move ahead here at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Call it a fluke, call it a freakish finish, call it what you will. What it really calls for, though, is a rematch. So Matt Lindland can have another chance to win. Falaniko Vitale can work the premise that the first time was shame on me. Next up in the middleweight division is a rematch of a fight with one of the most unusual endings in UFC history. Hawaiian submission specialist Falaniko Vitale made his UFC debut at UFC 43 against Olympic silver medal wrestler Matt "The Law" Lindland. From the beginning, Vitale proved to be difficult to take down. Lindland went to throw Vitale, but when the fighters crashed to the mat, Lindland's head hit the mat hard, knocking him out.
The only recollection I have of that fight is what I seen on the video. You know, that should have never happened. I don't remember anything happening. I'm gonna go out there tonight and take that win.
Falaniko Vitale won his UFC debut, but was it a fluke?
My last fight with Matt Lindland was no fluke. I know if I fight Matt Lindland again, I can beat him. And it doesn't matter, I just want to prove to people and get some respect, that's all.
We'll see if he can do it again as Falaniko Vitale takes on Matt "The Law" Lindland. Well, no doubting the skills of Honolulu's Falaniko Vitale. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, very versatile fighter who wins quite often by submission.
He's a student of Egan Inoue out of Honolulu. Falaniko's a very good jiu-jitsu guy and a very well-rounded mixed martial arts fighter. Very unusual fight the first time, and Falaniko credits it to Matt Lindland taking a high-risk maneuver because he simply couldn't take Falaniko down. Let's see if that's the case in this bout tonight.
So if it happens again, it will not be shame on me, it'll be shame on you.
I don't think that could ever happen again.
No, I agree with you.
That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was, I mean, you got to think, Matt Lindland's a Greco-Roman wrestler. How many times has he thrown guys like that? He just slipped, got stuck in a weird spot, and landed on his head. I mean, it's just a freak situation.
So it is a rematch to Falaniko Vitale, and a rematch in which he wants to end all questions that the first one was just a fluke. Falaniko Vitale back inside the octagon. But I suppose for the Oregon native, if you have no recollection of the first fight, how can it thus be a rematch?
Yeah, you know, when he was asked about his opponent, he said, he must be pretty good. I'm not really sure because I don't remember the first fight.
You brought up a good point, though. Matt Lindland had a hard time taking Vitale down and went for the high-risk suplex.
Well, Falaniko Vitale has excellent takedown control, but Matt Lindland's got some excellent takedowns. Matt Lindland is an excellent grappler, competing on an international level. He's got improved striking, and he works out with arguably the most successful mixed martial arts artist ever, and that's Randy Couture.
2000 Olympic silver medalist, 5-time national champion, 3-time Pan American champion, World Cup champion in wrestling. And he was coming off his finest moment, the defeat of Phil Baroni at UFC 42. The rematch is set. Our tale of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC. You can find it at nitro.tv. Lindland is 4 years older, 1 pound heavier than his opponent. Once again, Falaniko Vitale. Time for the official introductions, and for that, none better than Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is 3 5-minute rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first the fighter standing to my left. This man is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu and kickboxing expert. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 15 wins and 2 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of Honolulu, Hawaii. Please welcome Nico Vitale! And his opponent, standing to my right. This man is a wrestling expert who holds a professional mixed martial arts record of 5 wins with 2 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Eagle Creek, Oregon. Introducing Matt the Law Lindland!
Our referee, Larry Landless. He has already had an eventful night. Vitale against Lindland for a second time here at the Mohegan Sun.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
Vitale will tell you, and he has often, Joe, that he forced Lindland to blow that throw.
Yeah, he said he forced Lindland to take a high-risk maneuver, and then he countered it. And that's why Lindland knocked himself out. That he adjusted his weight while Lindland was taking him down, and that forced Lindland to land on his head.
Lindland, ever-improving striking skills inside the Couture camp.
Good left hand right there by him.
Playing the southpaw. Vitale has pretty good hands, though. Kickboxing experience himself. Trying to lean in with that left.
He leaves himself wide open when he's doing this. I mean, it's working right there.
That's a slip! And Lindland went to jump in on him. Yep. He'll take the takedown, and a good slam indeed.
Yeah, look, Matt Lindland knows how to take advantage of people's mistakes. He will capitalize if you screw up.
And he did. And the one thing, and we've talked about it before with Lindland, he's had so much championship experience. Nothing unnerves Matt Lindland.
Yeah, absolutely. He says his biggest weapon in the fight is that he knows how to win. He knows how to compete. He knows how to win competitions.
Close guard. Falaniko Vitale with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, comfortable on his back. Can Lindland rain down some ground and pound?
Falaniko looks like he's trying to wrap up Matt Lindland's right arm.
The wrestler on the top, the Jiu-Jitsu artist on his back. who will gain the next set of momentum. Just underway, 90 seconds into round 1. Fight is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Still ahead, welterweight championship. Matt Hughes and Frank Trigg.
Falaniko's got Matt's right arm wrapped up. He let it go now. He's effectively keeping Matt from striking. Matt's trying to pass right now.
Matt went for a sprint when Falaniko slipped. So a freakish slip by Vitale gives Lindland early control.
Matt's got him in a guillotine here. It looks like he's got him in some sort of a neck crank.
Can he extend the body enough to get the leverage that he needs to close off the breathing pattern?
Well, he can if he's in Nico's half guard, and now Nico's using Matt trying to do that to try to sweep him. He's gonna roll up to his knees now. Nico's going back to full guard. Nico trains at Grappling Unlimited Hawaii with Egan Inoue, and you know, he's got excellent jiu-jitsu skills.
I remember very early on when I was learning jiu-jitsu, and Big John McCarthy and many people talked about, and Hoist Gracie was the best at it, how relaxed the jiu-jitsu artist stays when he is in a situation of distress, and that's what we saw with Vitale.
Well,
the key is not to panic.
Yeah, without a doubt. Look, he's going for a sweep here. You know, we've seen that over and over in fights. Guys who are in the same situation, one guy panics, he gets through it, and he winds up with the win, and a lesser man freaks out. A guy panics, like, you know, and can't get over the situation, or you see a guy like Evan Tanner, who was just rocked.
Yeah.
And he composed himself, kept it together, and he pulled through.
Don't forget, log on, UFC.tv. All the updated news on the world's greatest, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And thank you to our very loyal viewers in helping us with the Viewers' Choice Awards tonight. UFC.tv.
Falaniko's doing a good job of stifling Matt Lindland. He's got a nice guard here. It looks like he's going for a sweep here, trying to grab a hold of a leg, but he might get past here. Matt's throwing some punches.
Lindland not able to put too much damage, as you mentioned, Joe.
Falaniko keeps looking for some sort of a submission. He's looking to wrap a hold of an arm, but most importantly, he's stifling Matt Lindland's offense here.
And that is the biggest concern of those who support Matt Lindland, is they've always said submissions may be Superman's kryptonite.
Yeah, he's been submitted before. Wrestlers have a lot of bad mistakes that they, whoa, nice elbow by Matt Lindland right there. Wrestlers have a lot of mistakes that in their sport are good things, are good habits. You know, posting your arms, bridging yourself up, when you leave yourself open in those positions if you fight against a submission guy. So they have to actively remember to not do things that they've been programmed to do their entire competitive career. That's hard to do. Nice kicks.
He's on his knees. Leave it there. Don't kick the face.
Vitale, 5 of his last 7 wins by submission. Lindland trying to leave an impression in the judges' minds and on their scorecards here at the end of round number 1.
Matt Lindland had an interesting strategy right there. He would, when he was in front of Vitale, he'd be on one knee, so Vitale couldn't kick him with his legs. Then he would stand up real quick and kick his leg, and then get in between him himself.
Reaction to Tank and Cabbage. Let's check in with Eddie Bravo.
I'm backstage here with Tank Abbott. Tank, obviously you thought you could still continue the fight with your cut. What was going on through your mind?
Now, the way I look at it, man, you know, it's just a cut. You know, you don't leave the octagon unless you're on your back. And I was fine. I just get my second win. I was ready to turn it up another notch and start dropping some more bombs on them, and they stopped it. I'll tell you what, I'm sure Cabbage doesn't like the way it stopped anyways either. But you want to know what? We can do it again. And bottom line is, we can do it again. No one's hurt, no big deal. You just got to do what you got to do. Obviously, I wouldn't want to see it end this way, but life goes on.
Well, there you have it. Tank's up for a rematch, and so am I. I'm sure the fans are as well. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
That's a nasty cut.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And if it was blurring his vision, then he couldn't intelligently defend himself.
Well, you know what? John McCarthy and the doctor made a judgment call, and we got to err on the side of the fighter's safety.
Of the ultimate importance. That's one thing that has not changed.
And again, he's fine to fight in a rematch.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure everyone would love to see it. I know I would.
Second round, Matt Lindland in the longer black trunks. Falaniko Vitale sporting the full contact fighter gear. It was a slip that allowed Lindland to take down before he connects with that throw of the left hand.
Falaniko's looking a little tired.
Now remember, it was the slip. And Lindland closed in quickly in round number 1. And fatigue could become a factor because Lindland was working diligently to pass the guard of Vitale, so he had to exercise tons of energy and utilize it to just avoid Lindland gaining an aggressive spot.
Yeah, Vitale was constantly reacting to Lindland. He's got a hold of he's got a hold of his legs, rather. He's going to go for a takedown here. Let's see how good Vitale's takedown defense actually is. Nice elbow inside by Lindland. Very nice. Vitale's thinking about the takedown. Lindland's mixing it up.
Off balance, move it. Yes, right there. Get it up, man.
Nice control by Matt Lindland. Mixing it up between clinching and striking.
Lindland isn't afraid to go toe-to-toe, and then again, Vitale isn't the biggest threat in the middleweight division.
As a striker.
As a striker, correct.
Well, Lindland has improved his striking. I mean, you know, those guys over at Team Quest, they improve everything. I mean, Randy Couture literally looks like a professional kickboxer now when he fights. I mean, these are guys with pure wrestling backgrounds who develop excellent striking skills. Oh, nice leg kick by Vitale. And Lindland takes advantage of it with a bum rush.
And Joe, obviously, Lindland had to improve his striking when he was upon his resume meeting Phil Baroni not once but twice.
Yeah, he hung in there with Baroni on his feet.
Yep.
That's something Baroni didn't expect. But Lindland's very intelligent. I mean, when a guy's looking to trade with him, he gets the guy into a position where the guy thinks that he's going to throw punches with him, and he'll take him down.
He is the master of control.
Yeah, he's got excellent control. I mean, that's the specialty of Greco-Roman wrestling. Nice foot stomps by him. You know, Vitale is not used to the big show. He had one fight in the UFC, and it ended quickly and weirdly. You know, and Matt Lindland's got a lot of experience in here. He's won, he's lost. He's beaten great guys like Pat Miletich. He's beaten Phil Baroni, and he's lost some real Bustamante. He's got a lot of octagon experience.
And I still contend he looked his best at UFC 42 in Atlantic City when he defeated Baroni by the unanimous decision prior to a quick return with the freakish knockout that he suffered at the hands of this man, Vitale. So he had peaked himself to a different level. They're going to restart it for inactivity. Larry Landless pulls him apart, sets him back up. 135 remains in round 2. UFC 46, January 31st, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, Super Saturday night. Super Bowl weekend, celebrate it with us. Supernatural Randy Couture will defend his UFC light heavyweight crown against Vitor the Phenom Belfort. Tickets are on sale now.
Matt looks the most composed and relaxed here. Falaniko looks like every time he throws a kick or a punch, he's got to relax afterwards. It could be the pressure of the event that's making him gas. It doesn't look like he's out of shape at all. Or it could just be that Matt Lindland is working him so hard that he's running out of shape, running out of steam.
Super Bowl weekend, Super Saturday, UFC 46, live on pay-per-view.
That's going to be a wild event right
That is the place you want to be.
How about the rematch between Vitor Belfort and Randy Couture? Man, that's going to be crazy.
Many consider it still, to this day, the greatest upset in UFC history when Couture beat Belfort years ago. Little did we know that a legend was born that night, and his name was Randy Couture.
You can see Lindland holding him and then pushing off, just get enough room to throw some strikes. Matt's in complete control of these clinches. He's doing all the damage. Nice elbows in tight. And Falaniko's just kind of like trying to slap back to react to it, but he's getting worked. He's getting worked and he's getting worn out. And Matt looks fine.
Stop, break easy.
Second round, and again, good control for Matt Lindland. We have heard from Tank Abbott. Now how about a reaction from Cabbage? Eddie Bravo has Cabbage.
I'm backstage here with Cabbage. Cabbage, your little dance at the end there caused a fiasco.
That's my signature. After I win, I always do the Cabbage patch.
Tank claimed that he could have kept fighting with that cut. Did you feel that he was about to get knocked out?
I kept on dropping him. Everybody seen me drop him like 3 times, and the knees were just taking it to him. If he wants to dance again, we can dance again. But right now, I got Chemo in my sights because Chemo's talking a lot of smack. So I got to shut him up and the other legend, too.
Well, there you go. A rematch in the future with Tank. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Potential rematch, yeah.
How about him and Chemo? That's an interesting fight right there, too.
Couple of big Hawaiians.
Matt Lindland's pumped. He's pacing in his corner like a cheetah.
Lindland.
Go, guys.
33 years old, Olympic silver medalist. And Falaniko Vitale has that look of frustration. He hasn't been able, Joe, at all to get into his game plan.
Well, you got to wonder if maybe he underestimated Matt Lindland after winning that first fight so easily and freakishly. Oh, Matt throws
down
a head
goes
kick.
Matt. But I got to ask you, how do you underestimate Matt Lindland? There's more than 1.5 minutes worth of tape on Matt Lindland.
You know what? Guys have egos. And oh, look at this. Look at this. Matt Lindland's going for a triangle. Matt Lindland is going for, he's going to get his guard passed. I would have been very impressed if Matt Lindland landed that triangle there. I mean, I know those guys work on submissions, but, you know, they're just so comfortable wrestling that they don't usually go for them. They would rather just keep a good position and pound the guy.
You know, that would have been as crazy as how the last one ended. Seeing a man who is most vulnerable to submissions win by submission against a man with great jiu-jitsu tutelage.
Falaniko's trying to pass here.
Now we know one thing, wrestlers don't like to be on their backs. Matt Lindland is no exception, half guard.
He certainly doesn't like this position right here. And Falaniko's going to try to pass here.
Third and final round.
This is a much better position for Falaniko. And it came from a mistake. Matt Lindland threw a kick, had a little slip. Now here they are. And again, we're talking about the overestimating. You got to realize fighters have egos. And your ego will have you convinced that you are the man. You know, and if you beat a guy, you're like, yeah, I'm going to beat him again.
Stay busy. Let's go.
You got to prepare for war. And hopefully you won't have a war. Hopefully you will win easy. But if you don't win easy and you know you didn't prepare for war, that's a bad feeling. And I'm not saying that Nico did do that he did underestimate him, but it's certainly not, this fight's certainly not going the way he wants it to.
Now remember, it was a slip in round 1, a slip by Vitale that allowed Lindland to gain control.
Good scramble. Lindland's doing a good job of not letting Vitale tee off on him. He's holding on to him, and when Vitale gets to rise up, he's kicking him off and moving and bucking and making sure that Nico doesn't have a good chance to land a clean shot on him. I mean, that Team Quest, I mean, what an excellent camp they have. Those guys are just so well versed in all aspects of mixed martial arts fighting. They're all constantly improving. You know, Dan Henderson just knocked out Bustamante in Pride in devastating fashion. You got Randy Couture, 40 years old, you know, beating the hell out of guys 10 and 20 years his junior rather. And you got Matt Lindland constantly improving. It's a fantastic camp.
And while Lindland is on his back here in true competition, how many hundreds of times have his training partners started them with Lindland on his back to try to see what his defense would be?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure they train like that all the time. I mean, Randy did a lot of that when he fought Tito. He said that was the most uncomfortable thing for him, just working, the most unusual thing, working from his back. And I'm sure Lindland works from his back constantly, too. Like I said, they work on all aspects of fighting. All good camps do.
Landless in close range.
Oh,
that kick connects. Nico shook the last one off. He's trying to move in
through the guard.
Yep.
He's got one leg through.
Matt did a nice job, half guard, trying to close it.
Let's go, let's go.
Nico's really got to make up some points that he lost in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, and Matt's got double underhooks here. This is a good spot for him. Double underhooks and half guard. I was actually talking about this with him at lunch. He said he loves half guard. He likes to sweep guys from this position. And it looks like he's doing that very thing right now. He's getting his back. He's a Greco-Roman wrestler. You let that guy get double underhooks and clinch his hands together, he's going to control you. I mean, he's so superior in those positions. And now Nico's going to feel his wrath. Dropping some elbows down.
Well, not that Nico was able to do too much damage a moment ago. But we know one thing, it's back to Matt Lindland's world.
Keep going.
Matt would like to get either inside control. Oh, he's controlling that arm. That's nice. That's a nice position right there.
Good elbow.
He's got one arm trapped in between his legs. If he can keep that there, he can drop some good elbows and really control him.
Now, Lindland will keep busy, even in the half guard.
He's going to slip it through. He's got the mount.
He's got the mount now. He's got the full mount.
And he's going to hold on to that mount, too. His control in the mount is excellent. We saw him just dominate Pat.
And it is all over. It is all over. Falaniko Vitale has tapped.
Good job by Matt Lindland. Way to come back from a freakish loss and prove your dominance.
The reversal and then the passing of the guard. That's ground and pound 101, my friend.
That's sweep. I talked about this with Matt Lindland at lunch. He talked about how he likes having double underhooks and half guard. Eddie Bravo and Matt Lindland were actually just comparing notes this very day about that very thing. How Matt loves half guard, and he's very comfortable there. Let's take a look at the replay. This is Matt on top, in control, dropping some elbows, still in half guard. Now he mounts him, and Matt's got an excellent mount. Falaniko just had enough. He's tapping right here.
And another win for the Law, Matt Lindland.
Excellent mount.
He wins by tap out, as Vitale knew he could not defend himself once Lindland had passed the guard.
That's a sweet feeling for Matt Lindland right there.
Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighter Nico Vitale tapped out at 4 minutes, 23 seconds of the third round. Making the winner, Matt the Law Lindland.
So Matt the Law Lindland will remember this fight and remember it for the victory in which he has earned. Still ahead, the featured matchup of the evening for the welterweight championship. There he is, Matt Hughes, out of the Militich camp, hoping to defend his title for the 5th time. Frank Trigg, looking at his favorite fighter, I suppose. Looking at himself, he has great confidence. He has great swagger. Will he be great enough to defeat Matt Hughes tonight?
And he's got my neighbor's hat on, Vince Voyer, the porno star.
Let's check in with Eddie Bravo.
Congratulations on a big win, Matt. In both your fights with Nico, your strategy was obvious. Take him down and ground and pound him. Were you shocked that you were able to outstrike him and pass his guard and mount him?
Actually, my my strategy was to strike with him this time. He just threw some of those wild hooks, and I didn't like to stand there with those, so I felt more comfortable on the ground.
Did you feel him wearing down? Can you tell he was tired?
He was tired after the first round, and I felt really good. I felt really good after the second round. I was excited to go in for the third round because I was going to look to finish. So I thank God for helping me get that finish and helping me stay healthy. I thank Nico for stepping up and taking the fight again, and the UFC for putting it together, and all my sponsors. Thank you, guys.
We were talking about double underhooks from half guard earlier, and you used it beautifully.
We were talking about that at lunch, and I told you I like that. I haven't got a chance to use it. This is the first time you saw me on the bottom was in this fight, so I showed some versatility.
Absolutely. Congratulations one more time. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Thank you.
Well, Eddie, thank you very much. And there is Matt Lindland, his teammate, Randy the Natural Couture. At 30, he was dangerous. At 40, he's the best. And he continues to be in search of the respect he so dearly deserves.
People have always underestimated me. My entire fight career now, I've been an underdog in just about every fight.
Couture continues to pummel away at Vitor Belfort.
But when I fought Vitor the first time, I don't think anybody gave me a snowball's chance in hell at winning that fight.
That's it. Over. A stunning upset.
And no one
one thought I'd win the heavyweight championship for a second time.
It is over. Randy Couture is the heavyweight champion again.
And no one thought I could come down to the light heavyweight division and beat Chuck Liddell.
What an athlete! Randy Couture is an animal!
No one thought I would unify the light heavyweight title against Tito Ortiz.
Been fighting for a while.
And now Vitor's back and he's looking for a rematch. And Vitor is a very dangerous fighter, and he thinks he's going to come and take my championship.
Vitor got the left hand through.
I've gotten used to proving people wrong.
Will he prove him wrong again? Those who believe Vitor Belfort can defeat Randy the Natural Couture. UFC 46 Supernatural Super Saturday night. Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. Tickets on sale. It'll be live on pay-per-view. It's Super Bowl weekend. It's Las Vegas. It's Randy Couture, Vitor Belfort. It's the UFC. It doesn't get any better.
It's going to be a phenomenal card.
And coming up tonight, our featured matchup for the welterweight championship. Out of the Milicic camp, the four-time defending leader in the welterweight division, Matt Hughes, takes on Frank Trigg. Trigg thinks he's leaving with the hardware. That is coming up next here at UFC 45 Revolution, a night in which we have celebrated a decade of memories here in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And tonight, we induct the first two members of the UFC Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we are going to induct our first two UFC Hall of Fame members. Please welcome these two UFC warriors as they come to the octagon. Presenting the awards will be the president of Zuffa, Dana White. Entering the octagon at this time, the legendary Royce Gracie! And now, coming to the octagon, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock!
Tonight is a very special night for the UFC. Tonight we'll be honoring two of the sport's greatest legends by inducting them into the UFC Hall of Fame. He thrilled and stunned the world. How could a 185-pound man defeat men much stronger and bigger? We will learn it was a family secret. First unveiled at UFC 1. The Gracie family style of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is what catapulted Royce Gracie into legendary status. We honor and welcome an inaugural inductee to the UFC Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen, Royce Gracie.
I'm very honored. I'd like to thank my brother Horton for creating the show. If it wasn't for him, none of us would be here tonight. Of course, the fans for their support. And Dana White and Zuffa to have the courage to continue my family create. Long time back in Brazil, my father, my family. Thank you.
Thank you, Royce. Congratulations.
We first met the world's most dangerous man in Denver, Colorado. McNeedles Arena in November of 1993. A multiple UFC champion and still a present-day champion in the minds and hearts of all. We honor and welcome our other inaugural member of the UFC Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Shamrock.
Well, first I want to start off by thanking some of the people to make it possible for me and Royce Gracie to be standing here in the ring today. Frank and Lorenzo Fertitta, the president, Dana White, the people in the office of the UFC, and the people that set up the rings and camera here at the UFC have worked long and hard to keep this here for you fans, for us to be able to fight. And last but not least, back in '93 when I first entered the octagon, it was booming. Back in UFC 4, we started to get shut down. Went underground because the politics wouldn't let us have it, because it wasn't legal. But because of you fans. It went underground, and through the internet and websites, you kept us alive. And I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart, that I'm standing in this ring, and Royce Gracie's standing in this ring, and UFC is still here being able to put on shows, is because of your persistence, the loyal fans in UFC, and I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. God bless, and we'll see you back in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big hand of applause for our first two inductees into the UFC Hall of Fame. These two legendary warriors of the octagon, Royce Gracie and Ken Shamrock.
Well, how good is that? Joe Rogan says he's got goosebumps. I got goosebumps about this one. Welterweight championship forthcoming. Matt Hughes set to defend his belt against Frank Trigg. Royce Gracie, Ken Shamrock inside the octagon. No gi, no choke, no blood. It was an interesting moment, wasn't it?
Very interesting moment, and I really did get goosebumps. I mean, when Ken Shamrock stood up there and talked about how this sport was kept alive because of the internet. I mean, this is a very, very unusual sport and competition in its purest form. And it is because it's such a fantastic sport, because people that are on the internet and all these websites got behind it, that it's still around today. And, you know, I'm really glad he congratulated everybody because of that.
And it is the belief and it is the drive of many that have brought us to this level of legitimacy, that have brought us so close to mainstream recognition, that have brought us to tonight for a great welterweight championship between Trigg and Matt Hughes.
I am the 5-time world champion. I've been in that octagon. That's home for me.
This is the first time in his career, and definitely the first time within the UFC, that Matt's ever going to face somebody as well-rounded and as tough and aggressive as I am.
Before the fight, they're going to wonder who's Frank Trigg.
I think I'm going to beat the shit out of him? Yes, I do.
He's never fought anybody tough. Never beat anybody tough.
Do I think he's better than me? No, I don't. Am I better than him? Yes, I am.
He's really somewhat of a nobody.
No, I'm taking you down. And I'm going to beat the shit out of you. and I'm gonna get up, and I'm gonna take your belt, and I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna have a drink.
When I'm up here in Iowa, I'm training. I need to be sharp with my stand-up, slick with my submissions.
As far as what he's doing to train, I don't care.
Go, 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 go. 3, 2, 1, done.
I wake up every morning, I know no matter what happens, I have to out-train that guy that I'm gonna face. Matt may be able to bench more, squat more, but when it comes to actual functional strength and being able to move somebody, I'm a stronger guy. That's just the way it works.
He's his biggest fan, and he's the one that thinks he's as good as he is, not everybody else.
I'm definitely the more decorated wrestler. I wrestled at the University of Oklahoma, Big 12 champs.
He was never a Division I All-American. I don't even know if he started or if he made the squad. You know, he was a junior college All-American, but he was never a Division I All-American. I was a 2-time Division I All-American.
What we have right now is just a thin pickings at the welterweight division. What I'm bringing in is to step in, take the belt, and bring a little personality to it.
If the division needs somebody that nobody likes and nobody wants to win, well, he'd definitely be the guy for the spot.
The prediction is the same prediction I give before every single one of my fights. The fight's going to end early, and it's going to end violently.
It'll end violently, but I don't think it's going to be the guy that he thinks is going to win.
Now, if you needed more setup, we'll give it to you now. Mohegan Sun Arena, Uncasville, Connecticut. Mike Goldberg, Joe Rogan, Eddie Bravo, our fine crew here at the Ultimate Fighting Championship. We are set for the feature matchup for the welterweight belt. Matt Hughes out of the Militich camp. Frank Trigg with Rico Ciparelli and the boys in his corner. A native of Rochester, New York. Last November, he won the World Fighting Alliance belt, beating Dennis Hallman with questionable groin strikes. Tonight is his wedding anniversary. It's been exactly 1 year since his last fight. Frank Trigg believes tonight will be the greatest night of his mixed martial arts career.
This fight has been a long time coming for the fans of mixed martial arts. It's been debated over and over on the internet who would be the victor if these two got in the ring together. For a long time, it didn't look like it was going to happen. Trigg was a WFA welterweight champion. Hughes was a UFC. The WFA is no longer. It doesn't exist. Trigg is, in many people's opinion, the toughest guy Hughes has ever faced. And that's saying a lot. I mean, we're talking about a guy who faced Carlos Newton, the guy who faced Sean Sherk, Pele, all these tough fighters. A lot of people think that Frank Trigg has the tools to shut Matt Hughes down. And I'm very excited that we're going to find out tonight.
Veteran of pride in Shudo, Japan's Vale Tudo in the WFA, the former welterweight champion of that organization, steps into the big show now. This is his Ultimate Fighting Championship debut. He will fight our champion. When he speaks loudly. He generally speaks within the octagon walls. Hillsboro, Illinois native, Matt Hughes, the welterweight champion.
Just an unassuming farm boy who beats the crap out of anybody he gets in the cage with. What can you say about Matt Hughes? Dominant, superior wrestler, working with Pat Militich, the Militich Fighting Systems crews, developed strikes. He's got submissions. He's got a ton of experience and success in the octagon, and so far, no one's been able to stop him.
You see the t-shirts being sported by the Militich camp, Controlled Force. Pat Militich involved in some police training nationwide in Chicago and Las Vegas, working with the military. He wants to bring Matt Hughes in to train with him. Controlled Force police training, taking this great art of mixed martial arts to the best level, and that is law enforcement. Classy camp out of Iowa. Absolutely. Matt Hughes, a wonderful champion. He's had a 2-year term. Frank Trigg thinks his term time has been terminated. We will soon find out.
And such a contrast in personalities.
Yes. Tail of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC. Found at nitro.tv. Not a whole heck of a lot gives. Trigg comes straight ahead. What Hughes wants to do is get him off balance. What Hughes wants to do is turn what has turned into a personal battle into a personally painful night for Frank Trigg to get us set for the main event of the evening, the welterweight championship. The veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribal Department of Athletic Regulations with Jerry Boyle, manager, Brad Beecher, assistant manager, and Mike Masuli, chief inspector. Our doctor at Octagon side is Dr. Michael Shorts, and the 3 judges for this UFC championship bout are Doug Crosby, Jeff Mullen, and Cecil Peoples. Tonight's UFC 45 Revolution is sponsored by Nitro, the official nutritional supplement of the UFC. And now, live from the sold-out arena here at the Mohegan Sun, it's time for the main event of the evening. This fight is 5 5-minute rounds for the UFC Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, the challenger standing to my left. He is a raw combat fighting expert who holds a professional mixed martial arts record of 9 wins with only 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of El Segundo, California, please welcome the challenger, Frank Trigg. And now, introducing the champion standing to my right. He is a wrestler and an expert in the militant fighting systems. He holds a professional mixed martial arts record of 29 wins with 3 losses. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Hillsboro, Illinois. He is the most dominant 170-pound mixed martial arts fighter in the world today. And now, he enters the Octagon tonight to defend his UFC championship title for the 5th consecutive time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 4-time defending UFC welterweight champion of the world, Matt Hughes. And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Big John McCarthy.
Interesting that Trigg was looking towards his corner. No eye contact until now as McCarthy is set to get Trigg and Hughes underway.
All right, here we go. UFC welterweight championship. Frank, you ready? You ready? Let's get it on. Come on.
The famous words of John McCarthy. Let's get it on. Trigg immediately goes for the takedown, and he gets him down.
Now Trigg has good, if not great, wrestling skills. Hughes in the black trunks, Trigg in the red trunks. Will this be the first to gain access to ground and pound?
Matt's turned it around.
Now Pat Miletich told me moments before the action began tonight that he feels Matt is ready. He's never trained so hard, but on the same hand, he feels that he's never faced such a potentially dangerous test.
Frank Trigg is extremely confident. And it's not just talk. That guy he really believes that he's a superior athlete. Oh, look at this.
Not often do we hear the verbiage come out of the mouth of Matt Hughes. Well, we heard some confrontation verbally between these two that has made this match even more interesting than just a match based on their great skills.
This is a very interesting little struggle to see who's going to get the dominant position here.
And as you noticed in the piece preceding our fight, Trigg said Matt Hughes might be stronger in essence, but the practical strength, he thinks, and the leverage strength belongs to him, and nobody has ever outpowered Matt Hughes in the octagon.
No, Matt Hughes is a brutally strong genetic freak, but wrestling and jiu-jitsu and submission, a lot of it is not just about strength. It's about how you apply leverage and how you get it into the proper position. You know, whether or not Trigg is better at that remains to be seen. Right now, it's just a struggle.
Matt has been very active. He's fought the best.
Right here, Matt's got a hold of his legs.
And this could be big.
Baby. He's going to bring him to the center and watch him just throw all his body weight up in the air to slam him.
There it is. The trademark move of Matt Hughes with the big slam on Frank Trigg.
While he's doing this, Trigg is securing his Kimura. Trigg has got a Kimura from the bottom. If he can get his legs into a position where he's got either a guard or half guard and pull Matt Hughes' arm out, Matt Hughes could be in trouble here. Matt's defending well, though. He's doing exactly the right thing. He's going to try to stick his elbow through Frank Trigg's armpit and pop out. And it looks like he's done that. There he goes.
Matt Hughes with the slam, earning points here in round number 1. 7-1 mixed martial arts record, 29-3 outside of just UFC competition, his overall MMA mark.
Trigg's got a hold of the leg, he pulls it towards him, and he's got the sweep. Matt's on his back again.
So Trigg doing a nice job displaying some control here in round 1.
Trigg's doing an excellent job, a nice punch from the top.
And another left. Hughes extended.
Trigg is a southpaw. His power punch is his left hand.
Matt trying to move himself away from the fence, and he spins out of danger. Or does he spin into danger?
Well, right now, he's out of danger. He's in a better position than he was, and it looks like he's going to take Trigg down. There he goes. This is a crazy scramble. We don't usually see this with Matt Hughes. I mean, this is a very even battle here.
And that's what many anticipated as we begin our 5-minute rounds.
Again, he let it go. Trigg is going, Matt Hughes has got his back. He's got one hook in. If he can secure an over-under grip and get that second hook in, Trigg can be in big trouble here.
Look
he's got his back. He's got both hooks in, and he's got his back. This is a bad position.
And Trigg is struggling.
Falls to his back here.
Can Matt Hughes finish him?
This is bad.
Look,
he's
tapping. It's all over. It's all over. Matt Hughes has choked out Frank Trigg. Matt Hughes defends the welterweight championship
from standing. That's the first time I've ever seen a guy tap out standing, getting rear naked choke. Matt Hughes shows the full gauntlet of techniques. He can strike, he can wrestle, and he's got submissions.
Undeniably the most powerful 170-pound fighter in the history of the UFC. Matt Hughes defends for a 5th time.
That's undeniable, but he got that from technique. Let's take a look at that choke. Look at that. I mean, you just don't see that. You don't see a guy standing up, getting rear naked choke, and then tapping. I mean, Trigg tries as hard as he can to get his hands in there to stop it, but it was too late. Let's take another look at the choke. It's deep.
Oh, it is as deep as deep can be.
And if he goes down, it's even worse.
And he tapped just prior to the landing.
Unconscious.
That's too good not to see it.
Yeah, let's take a look at that again. That's the worst position you could ever be in. A guy on your back choking you. You can't touch him. You can't reach back to stop it. The only thing you can try to do is get your hand on his hand to try to pull it off your neck. And you're not as strong in that position as he is. He's arching his whole back. He's got his arm behind him. He's got his legs locked around your body, and he pulls forward. Phenomenal stoppage.
I thought he was going to want to stand up.
Beautiful submission.
But,
Matt Hughes victorious, 8-1 now in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. His 5th title defense, a disappointed Frank Trigg.
You know, Matt Hughes is only getting better. I mean, he shows that if a guy is a great wrestler, he can submit him. He shows that if a guy is a great striker, he takes him down and pounds him. He shows that. I mean, he's just they're constantly improving, and a genetic freak, and with a great camp.
Talking to his football team, let's hear from Bruce Buffer.
Contact fighter. Give a shout out to Joe Gary.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Trigg has tapped out due to a rear naked choke at 3 minutes 54 seconds of the very first round. For the winner, and still the UFC welterweight champion of the
So Matt Hughes has done it again. And the show of class by Hughes to Trigg. Let's get up to Eddie Bravo.
I'm here with the UFC's welterweight champion, undisputed, that is. That was one of the most unbelievable finishes in MMA history. I mean, you're not known for your submissions, but a standing rear naked choke?
He made one mistake, and I capitalized on it. That's how that goes right there. Submissions, I work with Jeremy Horn, legendary Pat Miletich, the whole crew here behind me at Miletich Fighting System. Submissions are every day. That's my job. That's what I do.
He got the takedown fairly quickly in the first round. Were you surprised at his wrestling?
Not surprised at a wrestling. Look at his credentials. I was surprised he shot like that. I thought he was going to want to stand and trade a little bit. So he caught me off guard. But Frank Trigg, he's a heck of a wrestler.
All right, take me through the replay right here. This is the standing rear naked choke.
The whole time I'm trying to get my hips swiveled around and get my other leg in. He did real good getting my arm from the grasp there. And I'll admit it, I kind of felt him tap here a little bit, but I didn't let go till the referee stopped it. But Frank Trigg, you know, he was ranked number 5 in the world, and he's a tough kid.
There's a rumor going around that BJ Penn wants to move up and fight you and challenge you for the belt. What do you think about that?
Well, that was indeed a rumor. I put all that to the side when I was training for this fight. I never thought about UFC 46 at all. Had to get by Frank Trigg first. BJ Penn wants to step up to the 170-pound division. I welcome the idea.
Anybody else in the welterweight division you're looking at?
No, I don't look for fights. The UFC brings me whoever they can.
All right, Matt, once again, thank you for a phenomenal fight. How about a nice round of applause, everybody? Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Now, congratulations indeed to still the welterweight champion of the world, Matt Hughes. And he, as we've said before, gets better and better.
Just constantly improving. I mean, the guy's a genetic freak. He's got incredible strength, trains with the best camp in the world, and he's getting better all the time. I fear for everyone in the 170-pound division that has to face Matt Hughes.
And Eddie Bravo talks about the possibility of BJ Penn moving up.
That's a very interesting fight, but you know what? I wouldn't favor anybody over Matt Hughes at this point.
And the question would be, how would BJ Penn match the strength of Matt Hughes?
He's not going to.
Right.
That's just it. I mean, if a guy who's used to fighting at 155 pounds is going to step up to 170, he's going to be in a world of trouble anyway. And to fight the freakiest, strongest guy at 170 pounds, I mean, that guy's just it's phenomenal. I'm in awe.
You know, it was fun to see Frank Trigg have a little fun as we got set for this matchup. But in the end, Matt Hughes did exactly what he always does, and that's dominated.
Yeah, you know what? The guy who's going to beat Matt Hughes is not going to be a wrestler. The guy who's going to beat Matt Hughes is going to be another submission guy. This guy is going to be a guy who's a better striker, someone who does something better than Matt Hughes does, and it's not going to be a wrestler.
Congratulations to Matt Hughes as he talks to UFC President Dana White on a night when legends were announced, when a night when legends were recognized. He adds to his legendary championship run. Earlier tonight, a couple of prelim fights that we had on the card, including Chris Ligori and Keith Raquel, and then also Eve Edwards in action earlier against Nick Aguilar. Eve Edwards with one quick snap of the wrist would end the night for Nick Aguilar. That fight stopped in round number 2 as Eve Edwards wins inside these UFC gates for the 4th consecutive time. The aforementioned fight between Raku and Ligori. Ligori came in, Joe, and he fought hard, but in the end, Raku was too experienced and way too much.
And finishing the fight with a guillotine, which is exactly what he lost to in his UFC debut.
So he comes back and wins. And then, in a moment for the ages, Rico Rodriguez, former heavyweight champion, against Pedro the Rock Hizzo. Man, those kicks were devastating.
Pedro, again, showing devastating leg kicks. but unfortunately not taking it to Rico to take him out of the game, but doing just enough to win a decision.
And Rico Rodriguez wins by the unanimous decision. Or pardon me, Pedro Hizzo, is Rico Rodriguez really never able to get into his game. This game tonight was all about history. To see Royce Gracie and Ken Shamrock inducted into the Hall of Fame, a wonderful evening.
It's a great evening of crazy fights. I mean, Cabbage and Tank and Falaniko and Lindland and Matt Hughes just putting on an incredibly dominating performance. Another spectacular UFC, and how perfect on the 10th anniversary.
Of course it is, and for Phil Baroni, he will want to fight another night. He said he never wanted to stop in his fight, so Phil Baroni will want to fight another night.
A very unfortunate occurrence. You can only attribute to poor communication. But again, makes for a great rematch.
Well, rematches will be in the air, and one thing we will not need to see is a rematch, at least for now, between Matt Hughes and Frank Trigg. UFC 45 is being brought to you by Mohegan Sun, a legendary gaming experience and host venue for UFC 45 Revolution. By TDK Media Active, publishers of UFC Tap Out 2 on the Xbox video game system from Microsoft, now on sale. By the Gordon Biersch Brewing Company, beer like it ought to be. By Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. By Ultimate Knockouts 1 and 2 combo and home video. The UFC is back on DVD, bigger and better than ever. Get Ultimate Knockouts Combo 1 and 2 featuring over 40 of the best knockouts in the UFC's 10-year history. Available December 30th at FYE and other fine retailers. And brought to you by UFC 21st Century Sports with your host Al Bernstein. Catch the story of the history, evolution, and revolution of the UFC on TV everywhere. Joe, time now for our submission of the night, brought to you by our good friends at TapOutInYourFace.com. And I don't think there was a difficult choice to make in this one.
No, not at all. The submission of the night goes to the welterweight champion, Matt Hughes, with a beautiful rear naked choke. You see him taking the back, gets the hooks in, a standing rear naked choke, a first. I've never seen this in the UFC before. I've never seen a guy tapping out, standing up. Look at Frank Trigg reach down and slap Matt Hughes' legs, signaling the submission.
Well, Joe, in finality, as the theme has seemed to be, the boys from Oregon and the boys from Iowa go home and celebrate a bit, don't they?
You know what? The top teams continue to win and continue to provide some incredible fights, and I'm just happy to be here.
Well, you'll be here again when we move ahead to Las Vegas, Nevada for what will be a super weekend. Super Saturday. UFC 46, tickets on sale. It's supernatural. It's Randy Couture defending against Vitor Belfort.
That is going to be a spectacular bout. And crazy as it is, there's still people that think that Randy's the underdog. In this fight, a lot of people have Vitor ranked above Randy. It's going to be a phenomenal fight with a phenomenal card, and we possibly might see BJ Penn and Matt Hughes in the undercard.
Mark it on your calendar now. Make your travel reservations, get your tickets, and get it on pay-per-view. Super Bowl Saturday, Super Saturday of UFC action, January 31st, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. For all your info, all the reviews of tonight, all the previews of what lies ahead here in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, as always, log on to UFC.tv. A celebration of 10 years of competition. The world's greatest mixed martial artists. The skills are so much. Robbie Lawler looked great tonight. Man, did he throw with Chris Lights Out Lytle. They celebrated each throw this evening. Our executive producer, Steve Tornabene, our producer, Bruce Connell, our director, Anthony Giordano, our great crew doing a wonderful job as always here from Mohegan Sun. Phil Baroni and Evan Tanner. I venture to guess they will meet once again. Tanner withstood the punishment, and in the end, Baroni said, no way did I want it to stop. Never did I say it was over. Tanner gets the win. They will fight again. Would this be the last time we see Tank inside the octagon? Cabbage delivered some knees. He opened a cut over the eye of Tank. Tank, with that familiar smirk on his face, says, you never hurt me. Don't wave goodbye to my career yet. Matt "The Law" Lindland trying to prove to Falaniko Vitale that it was a fluke the first time. Ground and pound extraordinaire forces the tap, and Lindland wins again. And then in our main event, Frank Trigg taking on Matt Hughes. The trademark slam and a rear naked choke submission a la Royce Gracie to finish a historical evening.